Hey everyone, so I decided to go with thermoforming for my project, and obviously the first step is to gather materials. Luckily, I found a lot of the necessary components at my parents' house over Thanksgiving break. My first step was to make a box, and before I started cutting, I needed to mark my cuts. Now at first I couldn't find any power tool to help me, so I started with a regular saw. I did end up finding one though. Next, I sanded the parts to smooth over any places the sides didn't match up too well. This was my first attempt at making a box after all, so it wasn't going to be perfect. Then I drilled pilot holes on the corners of two opposite side panels and screwed the corners together. I used one of the plates I'd be heating up as a template so I knew there wasn't a hole outside of the plate. That way I wouldn't lose suction when I pulled the heated plate over a mold. This is just some extra sanding. Next, I needed to make a hole for the shop vac to connect to. I didn't have any Forstner bits, so first I drew a circle using the shop vac hose as a template, and then drilled a hole on the edge of the circle. Finally, I cut along the circle guide to make the hole the size I wanted it. I did end up having to tape up the edges with duct tape to give a better seal to the box. So this was one of my first attempts. I didn't know how big I could make the mold, so I started here and worked my way down. I'll leave me heating up the plate in its entirety this first time, so you can see how long it took, but I'll cut out this part for future attempts. Now, as you can see, this mold was way too big. On this attempt, I was able to dial in how big of a mold I could have, and this was my first successful run. This next one, I cut some grooves into the foam to see what kind of detail I could get out of this thing, and it worked surprisingly well. And for my last run, I used a small pipe just for fun to see what it would do. And here you can see how many attempts it took. Thanks for watching, so I could share my experience with thermoforming.